open that had.
Got it. It's recording.
Okay, good. I have to show you how to wear the floatini.
Yes, you do.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I just gotta.
Oh, Carol Berger's coming in. And Jessy.
Hello. I think I need to start my video. Hello.
Hi. We are all set.
Yay!
I can't tell you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, yay. I had so much fun painting them. It really was a blast.
You did an amazing job. They are so fun. I love the dolphin. I snagged 2 of them.
Thank you. Nice. Do you have any?
You're breaking up, but there you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take my phone off of the Wi-Fi so that it stops trying to share the signal. Maybe that will help. We've had the connection has been spotty since the storm. So it was like out for a while, and then since it's come back, it's been less than awesome, unfortunately.
Wow, wow.
But
Jessy, up at the top here is my mom, Laura.
Hi.
Fellow New Yorker.
Hi. Where are you from?
New York.
Oh, awesome. Did you live in Manhattan?
I lived in Manhattan for many years, and then in Great Neck while Andrea was growing up, and I moved here because of the grandkids.
Hey, I understand that.
I was raised in Great Neck.
Okay, great. Now, is that on Long Island?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like many New Yorkers, I don't have a car, so I tend to, like, even though there's so many, like places that are so nearby, I don't actually get a chance to go to many of them because it's kind of like stay in my little bubble. I mean, especially now, I never leave my bubble.
And you don't need to go anywhere. You're in Manhattan.
Yeah. I rode the subway for the first time yesterday, though.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was.
I used to go to school by taking the subway. We didn't have school buses.
Oh, yeah, of course not. Yeah.
And I see Carol's trying to connect and come on. Welcome, Carol.
So
will you drive over there?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to stay on the boat.
Right, that's a long.
Oh, there you are, Carol. We hear you.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm on the phone too.
Okay, just hit mute.
Okay.
Bye, Jordan. Thank you. Just lock me in. Your work is amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
I love this one. See, and then I can show on that one. So I'm playing with the 2 screens.
I know, I saw that. So can you hold it up again though? Because I saw you holding, but I didn't see. Oh yeah, so cool.
So that's on my phone. And that way I can talk to my audience and display here. So if folks want to see one of the sock blanks.
That's really cool. And so I clicked pin video on the corner of that shot. And so like, that's what I see big of. So that's really cool that I can choose to see that view. Neat.
Cool.
What a fun trick. Yeah.
Hello, Jean. Welcome. We're going to give folks a few minutes to catch up. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Sue's coming on. We'll give folks a minute here.
Yeah. I don't remember if I mentioned that I have a quick little video that I can share that it's like I've done some, when I paint the sock blanks, I did some time lapse videos. And so I spliced them all together in like one little 3-minute movie, but it's like a fun way for people to like understand the process. So
Cool.
that's a thing that I can share with you guys when it comes to be the proper moment.
Great. Great. We'll
Yeah.
let folks stack up here. We'll give them a few more minutes and then we'll have a good time.
Great.
Welcome, folks. And this is also our first Zoom that I've done, that I've led. We've been doing a lot by Facebook Live and Instagram Live. So if we have any technical issues, point them out, we'll make them better.
Yeah. I'm starting to appreciate the Zoom and what you can do. I want to like work on it for myself to be able to do a split screen. So that way I can have similar to what you're doing with the with me talking to people as I paint a sock blank, and then like an aerial view of the blank being painted. But I want to be able to like have them both at the same time.
Well, it's 5 after, so we'll go ahead and get started, and hopefully more folks will join us as they get ready for dinner or get home from work. So
Fabulous.
this is Jessy from Yarn Over New York. She has sent us the most delicious spread of yarns. We have the Greenwich Village DK. Very squishy, soft, and yummy, 231 yards. And then we have Times Square, which is sock weight, which is a 75 merino, 25 nylon. And Jessy, tell us a little bit about some of your inspiration, and then we'll get into the sock blanks.
Sure. So you could probably guess by the name of my company, Yarn Over New York, that I am here in New York, and I live in Harlem, which is the top part of Manhattan. I've been here for 17 years in the same apartment, and I love living here. Very inspired by the city itself, the architecture, the people, the places, the things, the energy. I really love the idea of how color really comes into play here, because so much, like it's so gray, like the buildings are so gray and people wear all black all the time. So that like when something is colorful, like it grabs your attention. And so I feel like my yarn has that same kind of energy. So very inspired by the world, the people, the places around me. A lot of things are New York inspired. All of the names of my bases are named of neighborhoods or locations in New York City. So Times Square is my sock yarn, and then the sparkle version is Broadway. So like stuff like that. Sometimes I try to make them make more sense to people who live in New York, but it doesn't matter to people who don't. Like all of my DK weight yarns are neighborhoods that are near each other, which it doesn't matter if you don't know, but if you do know, it kind of like, oh, that's a little sweet. So that's where the kind of, I guess, like my brand energy comes from. And then in terms of colorways, again, a lot of them are New York inspired, but a lot of music, a lot of Shakespeare. I have a theatrical background, so
tell us a little bit about your background, because it's fascinating.
Oh, sure. So as I said, I live here in New York. I moved here in 2003 when I got a job with a dance company called Elvin Ailey American Dance Theater. And I was a stage manager, so I moved here. I needed a place to live. A couple of the dancers lived here, so I moved into this apartment, lived with them, went on tour, toured all over, doing dance shows, learning about life, having a great time, and started building my career as a stage manager, mostly for dance, but also for theater, for events. I was with Blue Man Group, and then I ran away and I joined the circus. In 2009, I moved to Belgium to start training for a circus show. And I mean, we started building it there. So we were in this giant studio that had a giant pool for people to train for the water parts, and then a big area with motors and stuff like that for people to fly. So we built the show in pieces, like all the acts and the water acts, and trained everybody with scuba. Like I trained scuba to be a stage manager, and so I was in Belgium for a while. Then we moved everything to Macau in China, and that's where the theater had been built as part of a casino complex there. And we put the show up, and so I was with that for a little while, and then I moved to Singapore to be a stage manager for a different circus show, and I did that for a while. And then the show closed, and unfortunately, when you are a resident alien somewhere and you lose your job, they say, well, it's time for you to go somewhere else now. So I had to move back to New York, but miraculously, a bedroom was opening up in the very same apartment that I had moved into in 2003. So 11 years before. So I moved back into the same apartment, and I have been here ever since. And I continued to work for circus and be a stage manager for circus and dance, and travel all over the world and do all sorts of adventurous things. And then I discovered yarn dyeing and fell in love, and now I do that.
So I'm going to go through a couple of the colors here. Stop me if there's anything you want to add, so folks can get a really good look. I love this one. This is on Broadway, which is the glitter base.
Yeah.
And this is Dew Jewels. And then we have my favorite, Broadway Dusk Rainbow.
Dusk Rainbow is a good one. That one is, it's very
Love how it takes the color.
I know the Broadway, like with the sparkle, it is my favorite. I am knitting with the sparkle right now.
And if you have any samples nearby that you want to show, please grab them.
Yes, so I can do that.
I'll go through some of the colors if you want to grab some. This is Comet Tail, and this, I believe, spirals. If you knit it in a hat,
spiral. Yes.
you're going to get a rainbow spiral.
Yes.
And well, Jessy's going to get some of her samples. This is on the Times Square base, which is the merino nylon, and this is SOL Levant. It's really nice, soft blues, and it turns to orange, and this will splash in paint. This I love. This is just pure happiness. Walking on the Sun. So y'all can get a good look. Over here is Jelly Wish in the sock. And this is great for socks, but it can also be used for shawls, sweaters, pretty much your entire wardrobe. It's very soft. I am just loving handling this. This is one of her more solid colors, or tonal, with speckles. This is Mermaid Parade. Perfect for us here at the beach. Here's Dew Jewels again. I love this. This is Electric Pop. Monet's Afternoon. Great colors, definitely Monet Impressionist inspired. One of my favorite artists. We have Comet Tail again, and you can see how that's really gonna play and have a good time. The Big Apple. You can't have New York without the Big Apple. Dusk Rainbow. We'll hit on that again in the other base. And then I3 New York. Or I Heart New York. I Heart New York. There you go. I Heart New York. I love it. Yeah, we were scratching our heads on that one. Most of those are available in the DK as well. I can hold them up for y'all. And if anyone has any questions, in a little bit, you'll be able to ask away. Just raise your hand up and then you can unmute. This is the Do Jewels. Jelly Wish, I'll show it here. I love this color. This is so happy, Jessy.
It's so fun, isn't it?
And I love how this one comes in. And your names are so fun.
Thank you.
Do Jewels again.
So this is I have a Do Jewels sample if you want to see that.
Yeah. Is that in chunky?
So yes, this is in the bulky weight, and it's actually, this is a crocheted sample.
So for our crocheters out there, it will knit and crochet wonderfully well.
Yeah, this is good fun. I'm looking forward to the type of weather where, you know, like all you want is like that little one skein chunky weight thing around your neck. Like that's just a fun season.
So we can talk, do you want to show a couple more things and then we'll go into the sock blanks because I know that's what folks are waiting on.
Yeah. This is the Walking on the Sun colorway.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty neon. It looks kind of like sherbet. So this is, what is it, barley hat. That's this is knit in the DK weight. And then I have a sweater in the same colorway. And this is My Boy Lollipop. Super cute. And then you have Monet's Afternoon, right?
Yes.
So that is this.
Oh, pretty cow. What pattern is that?
So this is called Caño Cristales, which is, it's one of my designs that was published in a magazine, but I also I have it digitally and I have the rights to it. I just have not actually transferred it to my format and self-published it, but I can sell it. So if you wanted the pattern for your shop, I can work that out for you.
Wonderful. Okay, now, are we ready? So when I met Jessy, it was on a Zoom with a bunch of shop owners. And of course, being a New Yorker, the Yarn Over New York got me right away. But when I was going through her website before the meeting, this caught me. And these are sock blanks. Now what I found super cool, oh, and how it knits up.
Yeah, so it turns into like a secret code. So you can see how the buildings, they get dissected and turn into speckles. And then the blue sky. I think it looks like news.
That's fun. Now we have something really cool because we have both the single sock blank, and that pulls from one end, so your two socks could be different, or the double sock blank, in which you have two strands at once. So if you were doing two at the same time, this is great. What if you did one at a time? Is this still, but you wanted them to match? How do you attack that?
You would have to unravel it and put it into two separate balls.
And here's the single. Now these are longer, so you get more time, more playtime, right?
More playtime?
More paint, more surface to paint.
Oh yes, they are.
They're a little longer.
Those ones kind of like hang off the edge of the table a little bit, and I have to like push the corners back on.
So those caught my attention, and I thought, well, we could have some fun. Could we get one for our city? And Jessy said, yeah, of course, we're happy to do one for you. So she said, send me some pictures and tell me your thoughts, how you landed on these, because I love them.
I had so much fun. I mean, obviously King Neptune, like he just has such like a personality, and I'm like, I was cracking up looking at pictures of him. It's like with the fish and the turtles and everything. And I'm like, this is awesome. So, you know, like I knew that he had to be like very, very present. And, I think in email we talked about that my family vacations at Rehoboth Beach. So I do, you know, like have a, you know, like a slightly similar, you know, like beach vibe. And I know that like Rehoboth is a little bit more country and old timey, but I still have, you know, like a lot of like boardwalk memories and beach memories, and, you know, like just loving how, depending on what time of day or time of year you're there, it's an entirely different vista, you know, like the ocean changes and the people change and the light changes, and it just, the same view is just always transforming. And so I love that about beaches. And, you know, like then, you know, I get to paint the beach 12 times. So, you know, like each time I tried to, you know, like represent a different personality of a day or night at the beach. You know, like some of them got sandcastles, and some of them got, you know, starfish, and some of them got crabs. Well, that sounded bad. None of the sock blanks have crabs. They're safe.
We have seagulls, we have a surfer. It's so wonderful. And the airplanes with the Banner Yarn Club. Oh my gosh, I was in stitches. This is the best.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing that like says beach to me. You know, you're sitting there on the beach, eating your French fries. The seagulls are trying to eat your French fries, and then a plane flies by being like, $10 off, 2 pizzas. And, you know, it's like, oh, you know, you get to start dreaming about what, you know, what dinner you're going to get on the boardwalk. And so I suggested the airplanes, and yeah, yes, enthusiastic, yes. So I loved it.
Two more to show here. So these are on the website and they're numbered. As they've sold, I tried to write sold on them. But if you have a preference in the notes section at checkout, please note which one you're interested in, and that will be your first choice. As they do sell, give me a second or third choice, and we'll do our best to accommodate, because they are so wonderful.
I'm so glad you suggested seagulls.
I love the seagulls. They're just fun and make me laugh, and the dog loves to chase them. The kids love to chase them.
I don't know that I would say I love the seagulls, but I feel some nostalgia for beach seagulls.
We have the sunset with the surfer and the seagulls. I
That
love
was the
this one.
first one I painted.
Really fun. Well, we're all about the surfers around here. These are fun. This is Love is Love.
Love is love, and I have a sample of that.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's this one.
yeah.
We have it
So
in
get
pink.
secret code. My writer friend refers to it as secret code knitting.
Visible spectrum. Now these look like in the singles you will get two similar socks.
Yeah, so they're mirrored rainbows. Both the singled and the doubles they're mirrored rainbows. So if you were knitting a one at a time sock from the single sock blank, you would end up with like reverse socks unless you stopped and then went from the, well, you can't rip out the other side. You would have to unravel it and then knit from the other end.
Same one
The
as
sock blanks
before.
only unravel from one end.
These made me smile. I think I pulled them out of the box first. I shouted. They were so great. I went, watermelon! Oh my gosh, they're fantastic.
Aren't they fun?
So these would be similar.
Yeah,
Because you-
so
oh no,
yeah,
this
so
is the double.
that's the double, and the single one has more repeats so that you can get identical socks.
I love your vibrance in these. These are great.
Thank you. So again, you see how it gets scrambled. Secret code.
And this one's a little more pastel and I love it just as much.
Yeah, I love being able to make them all be a little bit special. So I mix up the colors, I mix up the placements. I try to make them each be, like I want the one person that is gonna love it the most to see it and say, that one's mine.
Sunflowers. These are so happy. And this is the single.
The sunflowers make me happy too.
couldn't you just Kitchener the ends together and have an instant cowl?
Absolutely, you could do that. Yes. People have done that. People have hung them on the wall. I like to knit a pair of socks from them. I have small enough feet that I can get a pair of socks out of 50 grams of yarn. So I have a whole half a sock blank left from knitting a pair of socks. So I just put the needles through the end and then, like wall art. Actually, I mean, well, it used to be booth art, but since there are no more booths, it's wall art.
Do you want to go ahead and tell us more about the sock blanks lead into your video?
Yes, absolutely. So I will say, if you have questions, this
I've
is
bought from her before, so I thought I'd listen to it. Oh, sorry.
no
Hi,
problem.
I'm Laura. I didn't know my audio was on.
Hi, Laura. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Hi,
too.
this is her son, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
All right, buddy, go on. Thank you, Martin, right away.
All right.
Okay, let me turn my audio off.
Okay. Thank you. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. You can either shout out and ask me verbally and I will try to answer, or if you need to pop them into the chat, if it's something that you feel more comfortable typing, all good. So I'll just get started with my spiel. and know that I'm leading up to a video that will show you a little bit more. So a sock blank is a flat machine knit piece of fabric. And because it is machine knit, it will only unravel from one end. Like you can't pull from both sides and try to craft that way. The stitches are locked from one side. So you have to go from the one side that will unravel. And that's because it's machine knit. So anyway, it is machine knit using bare yarn, and I have a variety of versions. There's sock weight, which comes with the double stranded or single stranded, and then there's sparkle sock, and then 2 types of DK, and the sparkle sock and the 2 types of DK are all single stranded. So they are all the equivalent of 1 skein of yarn. So the single stranded sock weight is 1 continuous skein of yarn, 1 strand of yarn knit into a flat piece of fabric, and then the double stranded is 2-gram strands of yarn held together, knit together throughout the whole thing. And then when you unravel it, you get, oh, it says my connection is unstable. That is, I hope they get this stuff fixed. So then it rips out into 2 strands, which will be identical because they would be painted at the same time. So that's how the sock blank is constructed. The painting process is similar to the process that I use for yarn dyeing, where I soak the bare sock blank or bare yarn in a pre-treatment solution that is acid and water, so that way the fibers open up and are ready to receive the dyes. So the sock blank soaks in that solution, then I squeeze it out and I lay it flat on a table and I squish it out so that it's all nice and flat. And then I paint on it, usually with paintbrushes, like the same kind of paintbrushes that you would paint with acrylic paint. And I use the professional grade acid dyes, but I pre-mix them with sodium alginate, which is similar to Jello. And so it goes through a similar process as Jello. Like I mix the dye and the sodium alginate and hot water together, and I shake it up real good. I put it in the refrigerator and I let it sit in the refrigerator for a while. And then when it's thickened up, I take it out and then I let it warm back up to room temperature, and then it's ready for me to paint with it. And it has the consistency of acrylic paint. So I can get the nice sharp lines. And then if I want to have not sharp lines, for example, for clouds, you kind of want those to be like light and fluffy, I can then dilute that thickened dye back down to something that is more watery, and I apply it with a spoon. So that brings me up to the point where I think you're ready to see the video, but I will say, does anybody have any questions based on what I just said?
Just unmute yourself, guys, and give a shout out.
All right.
Go ahead.
I guess I'm going to launch into the video. So I just need to click. Oh, it looks like I cannot share the video. Are you able to enable that for me?
Oh,
If you're
this
not,
is all
that's
new to
okay.
me. Let me see.
I will try to see if I can figure out what it is.
Share content. Let me go to participants.
I think you need to go and
Spotlight video.
So if you come to me, if you see Jessy Yarn Over New York, do you have any kind of like drop down thing? You might need to also go to preferences for people sharing.
I have chat, meeting settings.
Yes, go to the meeting settings And there should be some sort of box that you can tick or untick as enable participants to share screen.
See if that does anything for you.
All right. Yep. Okay.
Yay! Thank you. I learned something.
That is what, every time I do a Zoom call, I learn something new. So here we go. So this, I told you guys, you can see my screen here and I've got the video ready to start, but you can see the sock blank laid out on the table and I'm gesturing at my screen, which of course you cannot see. But I mean, you can see, but whatever. So the sock blank is there on the table, ready to be painted. I've got my different colored dyes all mixed up in their little jars. And then I have my phone there because usually there's some sort of photographic reference that I'm using, either if it's a custom thing that someone has ordered and they sent me photos like with the beach photos, or if it's, you know, just, well, anything that I want to paint and I need to know what it looks like, I will look it up and find out, you know, use a photo as inspiration, you know, for like proportions and shaping and stuff like that. It's helpful. So the phone is there for that reference. And here we go. So this is a time lapse, and New Yorkers probably will be able to recognize this pretty soon. This was a custom painting that I did for a customer of mine in Germany who comes here to New York every year in the autumn, and she requested a Central Park map. So I really enjoyed doing this one. And again, needed the phone for some photographic reference because unfortunately, I don't know what Central Park looks like from the air by memory. This is an abstract one that I did based on a piece of artwork. Deconstruct and reconstructed into a different shape so that it fit on the sock blank. Same with this one. This was another piece of inspired by an existing work of art. And it's fun to be able to find the language of other artists and be able to create something inspired by their style, inspired by their mood, but recreate it in a brand new way. And this one, you guys have in the shop. This is the watermelons. So you'll notice no photographic reference necessary there. I've painted dozens of these, and I love them. They make me smile. I always loved watermelon striped yarn from other dyers before I started doing my own. And I knew I didn't want my watermelons to be the same as everybody else's watermelons. And I thought, wow, well, the sock blank is a really fun way to get 2 watermelons for the price of 1, because you get the painted watermelon. And then when you have the sock, like, it still is a watermelon. So you guys see that I've got the stripes going on there. I don't know if you can see on the edge of my table, I have tape markers. So that can help me mark center, and then it's divided out through the rest of the table. And so that is a really good reference for keeping things proportional if they are mirrored, or even if they're stripes. Yeah, you can see them there, the little red pieces of tape on the edge of the table. It's a little trick of the trade. Oh, look, another seagull. And Hubble Space Telescope. So this was a sock blank that I painted as part of an interactive event where I went into Facebook Live and invited people to come in, and then they tell me what they want me to paint, and I paint it right there in front of them. And it becomes, you know, a group a group decision, like people deciding what color something should be, or what themes or animals or governors to include. This was obviously a request from a New Yorker. So let me just get that stopped. So thank you guys. Well, thank you, Laura. Does anyone have any more questions?
Well, Jessy, thank you so much. I love everything. Your work is amazing. It was great to see you in action.
Thank you.
And we'll keep you posted. This has been really fun. We loved having it. I sold a sock blank to a displaced New Yorker over the weekend. So they were thrilled. They're actually headed to Washington State next.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for hosting this event, and thank you everyone who came. This is a lovely way to stay connected, and certainly when you knit or crochet with the yarn that you buy, please hashtag me. You can, I'm at Yarn Over New York on Instagram, and that's also how you can find me on Facebook, Yarn Over New York. But I would love to see what you make, especially with the Virginia Beach blanks. You know, I would love to see how those transform.
Thank you again. Thanks for everything, and we will stay connected. Anybody else have any questions? Thanks, Jessy.
Just a comment. It's awesome. Very, very talented. Andrea, I'll be in tomorrow.
Yay, Carol.
And
Really pretty, really nice.
one makes me smile. They're just such fun.
And Laura commented, thank you back, Laura. Come on in if you're nearby and they're online. We're happy to ship. I had to make a second run to the post office Saturday, so we'll get your yarn in your hands, your clean hands. Anyone else? Sue, you doing okay over there? Yep.
Doing good. This has really been fun. I don't have my last name on there. It's Alfred, Sue Alfred.
Oh, okay. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see everybody. And thank you, Jessy. It was just really great.
It's fun.
Thank you.
Lots of fun.
Great. Great. Thank you, everybody. I'll let you get back to dinner. I appreciate you joining, and we'll see you soon. We're here every day but Sunday, 11 to 5. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.